Many of the Boston bombing victims had limbs amputated because of their injuries. People like Jordan Thomas, though, are ready to help them out with that transition. It's a big one. The 24-year-old is not only an amputee himself, but he's also a CNN hero and the president and founder of the Jordan Thomas Foundation, a very admirable organization. His goal is providing prosthesis to children in need. Jordan, I appreciate you joining us today. Explain to us, would you? You've been through it, the challenges that these Boston victims are facing.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been in a situation where I recognize that life changes in an instant. But for them, my biggest goal with them is just to provide them with hope and to recognize that life after limb loss isn't over. In fact, my life, certainly it changed, but it changed for the better. And I would just say that to the victims out there, that life isn't over and that it's still capable of accomplishing anything that they set their minds to.
And in your mind, what's the biggest way their life will change for these new amputees?
I think just adapting to the new ways of going about doing things, and also the pressures of, I think, for me, it was really difficult initially sticking out like a sore thumb. You know, obviously people are going to ask questions and people are going to look at you and be inquisitive, but I've realized that most people, they don't look and they don't to judge. It's more of like, wow, it's more of an inspiration and more of a, wow, that's incredible what that person's able to do without legs. So that was a tough transition for me psychologically, but now I recognize that it's a blessing and it's not a curse for sure.
And obviously you created a foundation to help support amputees with their prosthetics. Can you explain the financial challenges that these victims deal with?
Well, it's quite a burden. Prosthetics are extremely expensive. Mine, for example, are $18,000, and so it presents quite a financial burden for families to afford prosthetics, and especially with children, which is what we focus on at my organization, is they outgrow their prosthetics every 18 to 24 months. So you can imagine how costly that can be for families when they're paying so frequently and they're paying so much money for prosthetics. But that's what we're aiming to do at Jordan Thomas Foundation, is to implement some policy change and to ensure that insurance companies are covering prosthetics adequately, because at the moment they're not covering them adequately, and that's one thing that we're really fighting hard for.
Yeah, it's a huge financial hardship. I didn't realize it was that expensive. Wow. And I can only imagine mentally the challenge that is, the adjustment. How are you able to help those people out who are facing this for the first time in their lives? And is there any advice that you can give?
Well, it's the biggest blessing for me, and I get such a thrill out of being able to share my experience and just to provide them with hope, because it's a time just full of uncertainty, and there is that fear that maybe I won't be able to accomplish what I once hoped to do. And like I said, there is nothing that is not possible, and that's the biggest thrill for me, biggest blessing, is to be able to share my experience. And I truly believe that I survived my horrific accident because I think I realized pretty early on that it's my job to accomplish what I think I'm put on this earth to do, and I think that is to share my experience and to provide a little bit of light in times when there's so much darkness and so much uncertainty.
Yeah, helping others feel that they're not alone, and they aren't. Jordan, thank you very much, and you can help out by heading to JordanThomasFoundation.org. Appreciate it.
Thank you.